Mike Vick back with us now. Mike, can Taysom Hill prove on Sunday that he is, in fact, a legit NFL starting quarterback?
Absolutely. Just looking at that drop in practice right there shows me that Taysom Hill, is a guy that's going to be around in the National Football League for a long time at the quarterback position.
Mike.
Sean Payton can now look at life after football. Life after Drew Brees, excuse me, I'm sorry. He can start looking into the future and seeing life after Drew Brees, man. Look, Taysom Hill is the ultimate dual threat. He's a tank. He's hard to bring down, and he plays from the heart.
Stop the show.
He understands the game.
Stop the show. Mike Vick cannot call Michael Vick. You're Michael Vick. You cannot call Taysom Hill the ultimate dual threat. You're Michael Vick.
Hold on. Listen, the ultimate dual threat is sitting right in front of you, Wiles. If I see something and I can see it, I can understand what's being done, I know why Sean Payton said this guy is the next
Mike.
Steve.
Mike, I'm with Wiles.
I'm not jumping the gun here.
How can you sit up here and say?
If I was starting a football team, I had my own team, and I had 3 quarterbacks competing, and I watched this guy because we know how the offenses are trending in the National Football, in all the football, high school, college, and pro. You look at a guy like Taysom Hill, you can win football games with a quarterback like him, with his stature, with what he brings to the table. I'm going to just say that. I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to let everybody else talk, and we'll let this conversation.
Yeah, because they're about to.
We're not going to leave it there. Go ahead, Nick.
No,
Brandon, I think I figured it out.
Nick is apoplectic.
I think I figured it out.
Nick.
And then I'll throw it to you, Brandon, because I'm watching these highlights, and I must admit, and I've been very skeptical of Taysom. He reminds me. Watching him, he reminds me a lot of Vick. Now, I mean that specifically, in that this is how I imagine Vick would look if they made him throw it right-handed. Now, Vick's a lefty, but if they were like, Vick, you have to play right-handed, I imagine he would have done what Taysom Hill did last week. A few underthrows, a few easy ones, and run for his life. So maybe that's what it is here, but if that's not it, I don't know what the hell I just heard. I was so thrilled. If people could have seen my reaction, I was walking in. Okay. All right. I want to tell America something real quick before I give it to Brandon. I was walking on the Santa Monica Pier having a conversation with Mike Vick 5 months ago, trying to essentially convince Mike Vick why I think it would be great if he would become a super big part of the show. Vick was excited about it, ended up happening. I run to my wife. She's on one of those rented scooters. I run down to my wife and tell her. I was like, we got Vick on the show. Brandon's about to get announced. It's going to be amazing. If I knew that 5 months later he'd be out here preaching the gospel of Taysom Hill, I might have jumped off the pier. I might have just kept running. Never to be seen again, Brandon. I can't believe what I'm hearing.
I know good quarterback play, man. I stand back.
Okay. Yeah, think about it, too. What number is he wearing? That's what I thought you were going to say, Nick. The reason why he's standing on the table for this guy, he's wearing 7.
I mean, that plays a part.
Of course, you know what that number means to Mike. Of course it do. Look, Jenna, here's the situation. After two games, I don't think it's enough time. We've seen quarterbacks start hot before and then fizzle out. A prime example, you can go down to Carolina last year, Kyle Allen. He came in hot. Everybody said, oh, here's the person who's going to take over for Cam Newton. Look how things panned out for him and the Carolina Panthers. I think Taysom Hill, he's on the right track. He's surrounded by obviously a genius head coach, a coach that can develop a offense, a game plan that's going to work best for his skill set. But 2 weeks, Jenna, it's not enough. It's not enough.
Well, let's assume the Saints do win. Let's assume the Saints do win and they improve to 9-2. Nick, are they then the clear NFC favorites at that point?
So that, to me, is a very interesting question. Because, and I know Brandon had been very clear in the offseason about why this team hits roadblocks come the postseason. However, because they were without Michael Thomas for so long, because they're now having to win without Drew Brees again, and maybe most importantly, what we saw last week, Cam Jordan got back to being Cam Jordan. Trey Hendrickson had been their best defensive end all year. He's on pace for 12, 13 sacks. Cam Jordan was having, up until last week, the worst season he's had in almost a decade. He now is on pace for a double-digit sack season again. I do think, Brandon, that if they win again without Drew Brees, with this gimmicky Taysom Hill stuff they're doing, it will be because the defense was excellent again. And then, to me, the only team that would be in their way is Seattle, if Seattle's defensive improvement is real. So, like, if the Saints win this weekend, I got to see how Seattle looks. And again, was the Seattle 2-week good defense an aberration, or is that who they are now? Mm-hmm. And to me, the Saints could become the clear-cut favorites in the NFC because of how well-rounded they've been forced to be this year.
Well, yeah, that's some good points. But let's say they are already. That's not the bar for them. The bar for them is to win a Super Bowl. The same way, the same bar that's set, that was set in place in Tampa because you got Tom Brady. You have Drew Brees. You have everything you need. The bar is to win a Super Bowl. Same thing in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers. The bar is to win a Super Bowl. So when you look at how they're set up, right, and before the season, people in New Orleans got mad at me because I said the regular season, they're going to be one of the best teams. But in the postseason, are they going to make the adjustment? So a few things that I'm looking at of why they can be that team. Defensively, this is the same defense we've seen the last couple years. They start off slow, and then they start actually morphing into the best defense in the National Football League. So we're seeing them start trending in the right direction. Offensively, the reason why I think this could be a different year for them is because of what you said, Nick. Drew Brees, Coach Payton, they're uncomfortable game planning or getting the ball to anyone outside of 13 and 41. 13 goes down week 1. The next couple weeks, they didn't look great. They had to figure out a way to get other people involved, and they did that. They started learning different ways to win on the offensive side. For that reason, I think this could be a different year for them. Coach Payton got a little bit more comfortable game planning and calling it up for other people. And then Drew Brees got comfortable throwing it to different people besides 13.
Yeah, I think this team is the favorite. They will be the favorites once they win this week. It's clear cut that, 13 being out on the field is a big difference maker. And even last week with Taysom Hill at quarterback, he had close to 10 catches. So I think the team is well-rounded. I think offensively and defensively, they're coming around. This time of the year, you start to hit that stride. And when you look at the NFC, you look at the New Orleans Saints, and they stand out amongst everybody else. So right now, if they win this weekend, I think they will be the clear-cut favorites.
I mean, I don't know you guys have more emotional strength than me because I've just been in a whirlwind for the last 4 minutes. I know you're trying to discuss this game with a serious face, but after this Michael Vick comment, I can't do it, Nick. I am totally lost at it.
Stop it!
This
Come
Taysom
on, man.
Hill, I believe it. I believe. No, it's just all these are all of my notes about how Taysom Hill is not a real quarterback, and I believe they're all gone now. They're all gone. They're all gone. So they're going to win. Nick, I'm at a loss. I'm at a loss.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.